Do you know what hypnosis is?
Yes, it's when you get hypnotised and you get put into a trance.
Yes.
You get like a sleep mode.
Well, I went to a show once at university by that magician guy.
Paul
and
McKenna?
Yeah, he got us
Yes.
all doing things that we didn't think he could get us to do. So I thought that's what it is.
Yes.
I do, but not enough detail about it now, sorry.
When you get hypnotised.
Started in 1990 and it took me 4 years to qualify.
Excellent. Did you go to university?
I didn't go to university, but it was a university degree course that I took, but I took it
Yes.
through a hospital.
Oh, excellent. Is hypnotherapy safe?
I'm going to say yes and no.
Right.
Hypnosis is what we call a trance state.
Yes.
A trance state is a very normal situation that you go through every time you go to sleep of a night time and every time you wake up in the morning. Trance is also when you daydream, or if you sit in a warm bath, or if you read a book. So it's a natural state. In some instances, for stage hypnosis, it can be very dangerous the way that it's done.
Right.
And it can have long-term effects afterwards.
Okay.
And most professional stage hypnotherapists have a psychotherapist in the background waiting to sort problems out, including Paul McKenna. It covers pain, stress, anxiety, depression, phobias, fears, anxious thoughts, panic attacks, and in certain instances, depending on your level of therapy and level of training, you can work with schizophrenics and with things like Tourette syndrome and things like that, and it can be a very useful tool.
How long does it take?
It depends what you're treating, and every person is different. So sessions are normally booked around an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what the situation is.
Yes.
And often you don't know what the problem is.
No.
And you can keep somebody in trance for about half an hour.
So what is a session like? How long did you say it lasted?
First session is an hour and a half, depending
Yes.
on what somebody is coming for.
Yes.
I never throw people out. I often don't charge the full amount if they haven't got any money. Again, I don't do it for money. I do it because I want to help people. So the first session is a half an hour form that has to be filled in. It gives me a basic understanding of the person and how their brain functions, whether they're an extremist or a non-extremist, how their psychological profile stands up to questioning. I work out what type of language they use,
Yes.
whether they use visual or auditory language, and then I change my language to suit them. I find out about their phobias and their fears. I change language to suit that.
Yes.
So I wouldn't talk, if somebody was frightened of drowning, I wouldn't talk about sinking into a chair, things like that. So all the time you're working with somebody, you're learning about them very deeply from where they're coming from. While I'm doing the psychological profile, I normally get to the bottom of the problem. So by the time about 3/4 into the session, I roughly know where we're going. So I'll then explain to them what I feel would be the best way of going forward, whether it is hypnosis or cognitive awareness or whatever.
Yes.
And then that's what I do. The last 15 minutes of the session is normally homework and where we're going to go from there and how they feel about things.